Alright, let's kick off. So, what I want to do is show you a couple things about bike fit and how I use my bike when I'm time trialing. First thing is, if you have a look at my bike, my drop's not extreme. Okay? For some of you guys that are really tall, just by virtue of your biomechanics, you're going to need a bigger drop. But I think a lot of folks assume to go fast as an age grouper, you got to have a really fast-looking bike. It's not necessarily the case. To go fast as an age grouper, you got to know how to apply your power. You need to be comfortable on your bike, and you need to have a lot of different positions that you can use on your bike. And a really fast-looking bike has a limited number of positions where you can apply power effectively. So by moderating my personal choice, it gives me a lot more options on the bike. So I'm just going to show you a few different things. So the first thing has got to do with where your pads are relative to where your arms are. Now, as swimmers, as opposed to cyclists that have no muscle mass through their chest, we're a lot stiffer through this upper region. So a lot of the stuff that they might seek to apply to a roadie athlete when they're time trialing that doesn't swim like we do. I mean, like, I'm massive for a cyclist in terms of what I have on my upper body. So the first thing you need to think about is if you're looking to get your arms and your elbows together, you're not going to be able to have them way out in front of you. Because if you just try it, those of you that aren't filming, try and get your elbows together up high, and then lower them down, and feel how that changes. Okay? So what that means is, my elbows are far back. So I'm not trying to get, you'll see with a lot of these positions that they set people up with, the elbows are going to be way out here, and it puts a lot of strain. So the first thing is, in order to get comfortable with a narrow arm position, forearm position, most of us are going to have to bring those elbows back. And you can see mine, my knees are just about touching. The way I've achieved that is my cockpit is relatively short. The stem shortened, my saddle slammed all the way forward. So that's the first thing. I see a lot of folks way out here, and as a result, things are firing. They're really uncomfortable. They start to get neck pain. Shorten it up, you'll be able to feel a lot more comfortable. Now I want you to look at where my pads are relative to my forearms. Okay? They're in the middle. Okay? Unless I'm at high speed and cruising, this would be my high speed position. If I'm in my normal position, I'm here. What that gives me is a lot of leverage. And if I want, I can really pull and use my core to stabilize. And part of the reason is doing strength work in the gym, your leg press, your single leg press, that's what you'll be applying. And it can be a very effective position for rolling courses, where as you come up to the roller, you slide forward, stay tight at high speed. Power up maybe only for 20 or 30 seconds. If you compare that to what you'll see your competition often do, you stand over that roller, you're going to pick up a lot of speed. So, standard position, high power short position, I might go forward. High speed position, where I want to be on the aero bars and stable. And the other thing is getting comfortable in 0 watt tuck when you're at high speed, either like this, or if you're feeling really stable, you can take it in a long way, or even if you need more control, keeping your chest down and your chin down. The key thing I tell myself when I'm at high speed, chest down. As long as my chest is pointing down, I'm probably not presenting a whole lot of wind, a whole lot of surface area to the wind. So if I'm uncomfortable and I'm needing to hold on to the drop, I want to keep my chest down. For this reason, a lot of athletes, particularly new athletes, will be faster on a road bike with clip-ons than they will on a tri-bike, because they'll have this really stable position down here on the drop that they can use when they're feeling uncomfortable, and it'll be easy to get lower. That's something to think about with your bike. If you're somebody that's really squirrely and you're uncomfortable, the difference for me at 40k an hour between this position and this position is 50 watts. Okay? And that's a lot. So every time I come to here, if I'm moving fast, I need 50 watts more to hold that same speed. So and it's really important to remember that. So my bike may not look as aero, but the way I can ride it and the comfort that I have with this position makes me more aero in terms of my body and bike working together across the bike leg. The other thing is base bar height and where your hand positions are for your climbing. The traditional TT position, the guys, when they're climbing, they're going so fast, they're probably going to want to stay on their aero bars. Ironman's different. We have courses that have longer climbs. Ironman Canada has a 10k climb in it. And you don't need to necessarily, if you're an amateur, you're not going to be going fast enough where you've got to be on those aero bars. Likewise, if you're at low speed, it's a time where you can open up, stretch a bit, which will enable you to be more comfortable in the flat sections where you've got to be on the aero bars. So often I used to have a set of bars they looked great on the bike. They went forward and down, so my hand position was down here. And the issue with that is, if you can envisage a forward and down position, when you get off the bike to stand, you're like this. Your ass is back. You're not able to apply force effectively. So, for those of you that think you might want to stand, you need to be able to be relatively vertical on your bike. And by that I mean you want to be over the bottom bracket. Lighter athletes, small athletes, people with great running fitness, the penalty for standing is a lot less. Larger athletes, heavier athletes with more body fat in particular, you want to stay seated, you want the bike supporting your weight. But if you're a smaller athlete, Katie, you got to be comfortable standing. Likewise, Sue's got good run fitness. She needs a position where she can stand and change that recruitment, let gravity help her out. So those are the key things that I wanted to pass along. The only time you really want to open up, you see a lot of elite cornering and doing different things at high speed, and then they're like this. This position is okay if you want to brake. This is a braking position. It's not a steering position. Steering position is here. Carry speed through that corner. Likewise, you can save lots of little bits, and the difference, you add all this up across even a half Ironman, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, all these little savings that you can make on the course. It's really useful for you to practice. So the folks that are going to ride with me, we're going to go shorter rides. I know the terrain, we're going to do some stop and go,